What's kind of like the atmosphere surrounding this locker room heading into the final week of the regular season?
I think we're in a good place. It's come down to that part of the season where, everybody's on edge, everybody's trying to put it together, everybody's trying to win games. And when you go on the road and beat a good Illinois team like we did the other night, I think our guys are in a good place. As long as we kind of stick to being who we are, when we're tough and we finish our possessions, we're a tough team to beat. And I think we showed that the other night with the resilience of that type of atmosphere. So I'd say our guys are in pretty good place, but at the same time, just taking it one game at a time. It's going to come at us pretty fast here, but with a week left in regular season, I think everybody in the country is pretty much faced with this type of adversity. But I think we're in a good place.
And there was a lot going on with EJ over the past week. And he showed up against Illinois at points. I'm just curious to see how he's feeling, how he's doing heading into this game against Maryland, and I guess heading into this final week.
Yeah, for sure. We put a lot on EJ, and given his performance the other night, when I think he was definitely, not feeling himself, he's feeling a lot better 48 hours later. So I expect the normal EJ that we're so used to watching.
Thank you.
Jared Smalley, go ahead.
Hi, Tony. A question for you about Malachi with his performance of late, the emergence, the national recognition. People are understanding his talent level. I'm wondering, in your locker room, has it changed anything, his emergence here lately, and the way that you might try to play in the future? Is there something schematically that might evolve with his emergence and the way that he's been able to command games?
Yeah, I think if you watch us as of late, man, it's obviously EJ is going to be EJ, but we've been riding the back of Malachi now for several games. I don't think anything changes for us schematically. We just got to continue to just kind of be who we are, with the leadership of obviously EJ, and I guess you call him the Robin of our team, and the freshman Malachi. He's been playing extremely well, and especially road games, man. Different guys are going to be able to step up and kind of contribute. So I expect that from us, as a group, for sure. That the growth that we're watching with Malachi, man, it's not a secret that teams are going to try to come out and go after him defensively, but he's a good kid. He works, he watches film. And so I expect him to, be the best version of himself as well, going on the road to Maryland.
All right, thanks. We'll go Spencer Holbrook and then Steve Hellwagon. Spencer.
Tony, when you look at the roster right now and the way that these guys are kind of locking in and not really thinking about, what's ahead, with 4 games left, you guys are right in contention for a Big Ten title, but you don't seem to be really worried about that. And EJ even mentioned that Chris said that, talked about Maryland in the immediate aftermath of a huge win on the road. Like, what does that say about your bunch that you guys can kind of lock in and not really focus on, the big picture right now? You're just taking it day by day.
Yeah, I think, again, with our leadership, these guys they've been, in these situations before. And as tough as the Big Ten is, you can only take it one game at a time. You can't think too far ahead. And when you look at this Maryland team, their record doesn't justify the talent that they have. 1 through 5, they're a talented group and guys that can score and hurt you in different ways. And, they've obviously had some adversity hit them early, but, we expect as a staff and our players expect, a typical Big Ten battle and just, kind of keeping the main thing, which is just one game at a time.
What is it? I guess the final road game of the season, is there something a little relieving about this being the last one and you kind of get to wrap everything up at home?
No, I don't think there's any type of relief right now at the end of February. It's definitely for us, the way that our schedules kind of just got flip-flopped. I don't even know if these guys realize how fast of a turnaround that we're going to have. We'll go to Maryland, obviously play them tomorrow, turn around and play Nebraska on Tuesday, turn around and play Michigan State on Thursday, and then the same thing on Sunday. So when you're in the thick of things like that, I don't even think that you're actually thinking about it until the game in front of you is actually over. So it's that time of the year though, man. So, we're excited as a staff, and so are our players.
All right, we'll go Steve Hellwagon, then Adam Jardy. Steve.
Yeah, Coach. Question I have is, it seems like most of your preparation at this point would be mental with going from one game right into the next one so soon. Just how are you balancing still getting what you need to get on the practice court day in and day out with being fresh and being ready to play these games? Because this is like an NBA schedule you guys are playing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Coach Holtman and, the rest of our staff this time of the year, preparation is obviously just as important as being, the best rested team. You get down the stretch, like you said, it's just more mental. It's more just diving into the personnel of the other team. Our game plan doesn't change. We're in as good of a shape as we're going to be. So getting up and down for 2 hours, like, maybe some teams are doing this time of the year is not necessarily the answer. But, we've done a pretty good job with our guys and just letting them find a balance of what they need to do. When we do come back from a short turnaround, from a mental standpoint, watching film, diving into the schematics of our opponent, but also just keeping them fresh, because we know at the end of the day, the healthiest team and the freshest team is going to go out there and compete the best.
Yeah, I want to ask about that second half that Malachi had. I don't believe he missed a shot from the floor or the free throw line, and even had a 3-pointer in there somewhere. Have you seen a player, regardless of class, have a half like that? And just how remarkable was that for him and in a road environment to have the ball in his hands and just put himself, he was scoring at all 3 levels. Just what'd you see, I guess? What'd you take from that performance?
Yeah, I think the one thing that I can just say about him and, just watching guys over the years, even as a player, I mean, his poise when he's doing it, it's unreal. It's one of those things where you look at the box score at the end of the game and he had a pretty good game, but you don't think that he had 30 because he's just doing it in just such a smooth way. And so it's been exciting to have a chance to coach him, to watch him just continue to develop as a freshman. It's a very, very difficult thing to do night in, night out, especially down the crunch. And he's been remarkable. He stepped up to the plate and he's just doing everything that you can ask for a freshman. And it's exciting to just know that you're going into these games with that type of talent.
Thanks a lot.
Go ahead, Adam.
Tony, when you come in to the staff and you're the new guy and you're getting your feet wet and everything, and suddenly there's a need for a guard and you lead into a Cedric Russell, and he goes through some tough moments in the early part of the season there, trying to acclimate to the level. What is that like for you as the coach, as the guy who kind of helped bring him in, knowing that there's better basketball ahead of him, but also knowing that like you want to show the staff that like you're contributing, you can bring guys in as well. Like what is that like for you working with a guy like that, helping him get to where he's got this role that he's got now, where he's making significant contributions for you?
Yeah, I think it's we use the word resiliency so much, and I just think that's just a big part of what it is for Cedric Russell. He's proven that he can obviously play, and when you transfer to a higher level, everybody's expecting you to do the same thing that you did at a previous level. But if you know basketball, you know how hard that transition can be. But he's just had the right mental space all season, and just staying ready. He's out there competing in practice. It's not as if he's dogging practice. He's doing his job in practice as a staff. We're giving him the confidence and putting him in situations. And I think that you've seen when given an opportunity, he's done his part. And you don't do that. It's very, very hard to be able to turn that on. Not a lot of people can turn that on. So it just kind of shows that he's had the resilience and he's been doing his part in practice and just staying ready. We've had to call on different guys through the course of the season, and a bunch of different guys have helped us win games. And, he's no short of that conversation as well.
And I'm sure, you're proud of any guy that steps up into a situation. You're rooting for every guy on the roster. But when it is a guy that you've brought in and you're the new guy on the staff, does that add anything to you? Do you feel any extra satisfaction or pride in that you helped bring this guy here?
I would say, yeah, no. When a guy makes a shot, it's a big time shot. It's all the same at the end of the day. I don't care if it's Malachi, if it's EJ, if it's Cedric Russell, if it's, Harrison Hookfin. I just want to win. And, you know, just to kind of see the work that those guys put in at the end of the day, it's all about the W's on the scorecard at the end of the game. So.
Thank you.
All right. I think the only one we haven't gotten is Griffin. Griffin, you got a question or? If not, I guess we'll, nobody else got anything. Tony, appreciate your time.
Well, good.
Thanks a lot.
All
Good
right.
luck.
Appreciate you
Perfect.
guys,
Thanks,
man.
Tony.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
All right.